Problem 12 asks you to do substitution. So it's pretty easy because x is already kind of isolated here. So I'm just going to substitute 2y minus 1 into this problem. So 3 times, oh wait, just kidding. Don't do that. 3y plus, and I'm going to put it in parentheses just so I can keep it separated. So now I have, you can see here I have 5y, and take away 1 equals 4. And now I can do plus 1, so now I have 5y equals 5. Divide it by 5 on both sides, and then the y equals 1. Now that I know that y equals 1, I can come back up here and I can do 3 times 1 plus x, whoa, is that right? Yes, equals 4. So this is 3 plus x equals 4. And then I'm going to subtract the 3 on both sides. And x is going to equal 1. So the solution to this one is x is 1 and y is 1. So 1, 1. Okay. Next problem is also substitution. And for this one, I'm going to get x alone. So I'm going to do x on this side. And I'm going to do 3y over here plus 7. And it became a 3y because if I did this to get rid of it. So now I have this. And so now that I know what x is, I'm going to substitute it into this one right here. So I'm going to do 5 times x, but x is really 3y plus 7. And then there's still this part of 6y and 14. So now I'm going to multiply the 5 times the 3y, and I'm going to get 15y. And I'm going to multiply 5 times 7, and I'm going to get 35. Plus this 6y still. If you put these y's together, you get 21y plus 35 equals 14. I'm going to subtract the 35 from both sides, and thankfully it comes out evenly. So that's going to be 21 over here, and then you have your 21y over here. So I'm going to divide by 21, divide by 21. Am I doing this? Oh wait, I remember though, this is negative. So now you're going to have y, and it's going to equal negative 1. So if y equals negative 1, then I can go back in here and put it into one of the other ones. So negative 3y. So negative 3y plus x, so times negative 1 plus x equals 7. So now you have negative 3 plus x equals 7, and then you're going to add this. Wait, a negative times a negative is a positive. So now I'm going to subtract this. Then you'll have the x alone, and I'm going to subtract 3 over here, and then it'll be a positive 4. So you have the solution to this one is 4, negative 1. Now the next problems are about elimination. And this problem I thought I needed help with and I called you about, but in the end I did do it right. I just had, I copied the problem wrong. Shocker. So the thing about elimination, if you can't eliminate them easily, you have to multiply by the opposite coefficient. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply this by, what am I going to multiply this by to get rid of that? I'm going to multiply it by a negative 3. So I'm going to do it to each of those. And what I'm going to come up with is negative 9x plus a negative 6y equals a negative 9. And then you have this 9x and this 8y and this negative 2. So these guys cancel out. And then you still have negative 14y equals negative 11 And then if you divide this by negative 14 and you divide this by negative 14, y equals 11/14. And that just seemed weird to me. So I'm going to put this in parentheses, 11/14. And then I still need to find x. But this is where I just copied the problem wrong. So now, in order to figure out what x is, I'm going to multiply by a positive 4. So I'm going to start here and do 3x plus 2y equals 3. And I'm going to multiply it by a positive 4 to get this to be a positive 8. So 4 times 3 is 12. And 4 times 2 is a positive 8y. 4 times 3 is going to be 12x. And then I have this other problem over here, which is the 9x take away 8y equals negative 2. And I actually copied this as negative 12, so I got 0 over here. That's my big problem. So these are eliminated. This is going to be 21x. This is a positive 10. That was my problem. Divide by 21, divide by 21, and x equals 10/21. So 10/21, and there you have the solution, and that does not look right. Now moving on to problem 44, and again it's an elimination. And so for this elimination problem, I am going to have to multiply both of them by something because neither of them are easy right now. So I'm going to multiply by a negative and a positive. So I'm going to do positive 3, and I'm going to do negative 4, so that I'm working with 24. So positive 3 times positive 8 is going to give me positive 24s. And then 3 times 12 is 36t. And 3 times 16 is 48. Okay. And now the same thing, negative 4 times this 6 is going to give me negative 24s. Negative 4 times 9 is a negative 36t. And then this is going to be a negative 48. And so what happens here is this cancels, and this cancels. And so on this side, we have 0 equals 0, which is true. And so that means that it has infinite solutions. So there you have it. Thanks for listening.